The Trump White House has a problem with the truth. General John Kelly said he was going to fix it. He would improve the information flow. But tonight we know it's information, current events, recent history, and lies that are haunting the White House. What began with President Trump misrepresenting other presidents' interactions with Gold Star families and escalated in a fight over what Trump said in a, quote, condolence call to the widow of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson, killed in Niger with 3 other staff sergeants, is now turned into something much, much more problematic. Donald Trump allegedly told Myeshia Johnson he knew what he was signing up for, but I guess it hurts anyway. That, according to Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. And the president denied he said that.
Mr. President, what did you say to Sergeant Johnson's widow on the phone yesterday?
Didn't say what that Congresswoman said. Didn't say it at all. She knows it, and she now is not saying it.
Didn't say it at all. Okay, that's a denial defense. But then General John Kelly stirred up more controversy with something else, a justification defense, suggesting Donald Trump did say it and it's okay.
He was doing exactly what he wanted to do when he was killed. He knew what he was getting into by joining that 1%. That's what the president tried to say to 4 families the other day.
And the point isn't really the exact word choice, although it doesn't help that Trump denied the words that Kelly then seemed to confirm. The point is, Kelly contradicted Trump and then attacked the Congresswoman who shared this story. This is not the president's political spokesman or a campaign strategist. This is the taxpayer-funded chief of staff launching this allegation against a sitting congresswoman.
The congresswoman stood up, and in the long tradition of empty barrels making the most noise, stood up there and all of that, and talked about how she was instrumental in getting the funding for that building, and how she took care of her constituents because she got the money, and she just called up President Obama, and on that phone call, he gave the money, the $20 million to build the building. And she sat down, and we were stunned.
She got the money. She stood up, she talked about the money, herself, Obama, and then she sat down, and he was stunned. Well, that allegation today was demolished. A fact check reviewed Representative Wilson's entire speech and determined Kelly got it wrong. Tonight, MSNBC's Joy Reid aired the entire speech so everyone could see all the facts and the entire address themselves. We've reviewed it here as well. The video shows Wilson spending most of her time praising FBI agents who were killed on duty and crediting Republican Speaker Boehner by name for their teamwork in a vote on legislation, not money, for naming an FBI building after 2 agents.
I went to the Speaker, Speaker Boehner, and I said, Mr. Speaker, I need your help. The FBI needs your help, and our country needs your help, and we have no time to waste. He went into attack mode, and in 2 days, pulled it out of committee, brought it to the floor for a vote.
Now, let me be as fair and precise as possible. It could be that John Kelly innocently misremembered this. And today's tension could have been tapped down with any kind of acknowledgement of what the video shows. If you had a court case that was built on this allegation against Representative Wilson and this video emerged, that case would just get tossed out of court. But instead, today, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who reports to General Kelly, says her boss stood by it.
Does General Kelly still stand by the statement that he made yesterday that he felt that she was grandstanding and that she was taking credit?
Absolutely. General Kelly said he was stunned that Representative Wilson made comments at a building dedication honoring slain FBI agents about her own actions in Congress.
Faced with the fact check and the video, Kelly has an employee claiming he was stunned by Representative Wilson working with Republicans on legislation. And I can tell you Trump aides now say maybe she made other comments at some other time at the event that just isn't on video. And then Sanders today went further.
If you want to go after
before
General
she came
Kelly,
into
that's up to
Congress.
you, but I think that if you want to get into a debate with a 4-star Marine general, I think that's something highly inappropriate.
This is not another squabble born of Donald Trump's neediness. It now includes a general dispatching a federal employee to tell the nation he's not subject to debate. This cannot be said enough. General Kelly, you will be debated. You will be questioned. The oath you take to uphold the Constitution, that document places the military, which we respect, under civilian control, not above it. And that's relevant not only to this bitter fact-challenge dispute. It's relevant tonight to the incident that got reporters pressing the White House in the first place, the death of 4 U.S. soldiers in Niger. We have no idea if findings in the future will show things should have been done differently or not. It's obviously too early to say. And there are also new reports that after this bruising week, Trump shows tonight, quote, zero remorse even for dragging Chief of Staff Kelly into the mess, while Kelly was looking more and more, quote, dispirited as the week went on. And then after business closed at the White House tonight, I can tell you Sarah Huckabee Sanders put out an additional statement, and I'll read it to you. It says, quote, of course everyone can be questioned, but after witnessing General Kelly's heartfelt and somber account, we should all be able to agree that impugning his credibility on how best to honor fallen heroes is not appropriate. There you have it. Another effort to move the goalposts. Journalists find a video contradicting Kelly's attack on a member of Congress, and then they respond with this. Of course, the factual dispute's not about those fallen heroes in this particular moment. And by the way, this is a free country. So if people did want to debate that, as Sarah Huckabee Sanders refers to, they could debate that too, whether you're in or out of uniform. Many in Washington had hoped that when John Kelly came to the White House, he could change Trump. Tonight, it looks like Trump may be changing him.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.